Welcome back. I'm Ezra Levant. Over the decades, the Lubicon Lake Indian Band in northern Alberta has been known for the extreme poverty in their community, but now there's evidence their longtime leader got paid big bucks, all the while the community went without running water. Joshua Skurnick has the story.
Things are changing in Lubicon Lake. That's the foundation for a new medical center, 30 new trailers, and a quarter of the 500-person community in northern Alberta has running water for the first time. But Chief Billy Joe Lubicon says it doesn't mean you can ignore the past.
I guess it was something that we'd suspected all along.
Lubicon says their previous chief, Bernard Ominayak, paid himself and his supporters huge salaries, all while the band lived in poverty. An audit by Myers Norris Penny shows over a 6-year period, huge sums of money paid to Ominayak and his supporters. All said, the council estimates it at $3.3 million, with no reason for why. The money came from a private company called the Cree Development Corporation. Ominayak controlled it as chief for 30 years. Friendly with the media, over the decades of his reign, he put the Lubicon's financial struggles in the spotlight. Problems that remain to this day.
This is a significant issue in this province, and this is a community where there is significant poverty, and all of us need to do something, whatever we can, about it.
Despite Ominayak elected in 2009 as chief for life after 3 decades of rule, the current chief and council organized a secret ballot election in 2013. That was the first time they had a secret ballot. Before that, it was by a show of hands, with the leadership of the day tallying the votes. Lubicon's election was the first time in 4 years the Canadian government recognized a Lubicon vote as legitimate. If you voted against Bernard Ominayak, would you not get the best housing? Would you not get the best jobs?
Well, I mean, he might not get a job at all, yeah. So, I mean, it was pretty much of a dictatorship, right?
Ominayak and his family continue to live in the community. They weren't home. But Bernard's son-in-law and communications officer Garrett Tomlinson did contact us by phone.
I can tell you that equivalently, CDC has improved dramatically the situation in the community. I mean, we're talking a company that employed over 300 people in a community of just over 400 people.
Tomlinson says the last election was a sham, noting Indian Affairs helped Lubicon organize it and was done outside the community. In response to the audit, Tomlinson released documents he says shows Ominayak incurred major expenses financing and supporting the CDC. But despite only making $80,000 a year, Tomlinson says the $1.5 million paid to Ominayak in cash was to cover expenses his father-in-law put up of his own money.
There was continuous and ongoing expenses that were covered. And I mean, I think in one place in the audit it talks about the number of checks that were issued. And that's simply because it costs so much to do the day-to-day business of the corporation that reimbursements were issued very quickly.
The audit admits additional information may significantly influence our findings. They worked off an incomplete set, the only records the council says they have. Tomlinson says he won't open the books for MNP, that all of the money is accounted for and free for the community to see.
The records have always been available to all Lubicon members and anyone who wants to view them. And the bottom line is we've never had that request.
We met people who support Ominayak as chief, but would not go on camera. The majority we talked to in the community say they're happy.
Now it's modernized, like you have running water. You could just go turn a tap on, and then as to growing up, you boiled water, went to the river for it, you know.
There is a lot of hope already, even just with everything, with all the new trailers and everything running water, there's a lot of hope.
Just the beginning, I think. There's a lot more to come.
The audit leaves many questions. $7 million in unaccounted spending, and the majority going to a small group. But even if the questions never get answered, the community says it's time to move forward. I'm Joshua Skurnick, and this is a Sun News Special Report.
Outstanding report. Josh joins us now from Edmonton. Josh, you know, a lot of people might be saying, well, let bygones be bygones, but as you said at the end, there's $7 million gone missing to a small group, a lot of it in cash, no receipts. If this were in a white community, the RCMP would get involved and there would be a possibility of criminal charges. Is there any police activity here following up on all those missing dollars?
No, Ezra, and I even asked if they would try to do that. And the reality of it is, this is a private corporation, the Cree Development Corporation. So just to point it out and to make sure that everyone understands, they were not taking money from the federal dollars that the band gets from the government. This was a private corporation set up in order to help the community and give them jobs. The issue here is that Ominayak was getting supposedly all of these big bucks while the band lived in poverty and without running water. So this goes to the basic question of where did all the money go? And we don't have a clear picture because they only have 6 years of documents, and the only reason that the current chief and council has those documents is because back in 2009 there was almost a coup when one of Ominayak's supporters tried to overthrow him, and so he released these documents to the community to try to show what was going on. But of course, he had an agenda, though. He was trying to sully Bernard. So everyone here, they have their own angle. So what we need to do is we need to see the books in their entirety in order to get a clear picture.
Outstanding report, Josh. Great to have you on the show. Thanks for bringing it to us.